Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Becoming Proactive with Soumya Agarwal. So this is the video number 2 for chapter number 1 of strategic management, and that is your introduction to strategic management. So till yet we have already discussed the business policy, concept of management and concept of strategy. But one topic in a strategy portion was left, and this is one of the most important topic. Mark it very important, especially for case study, for explanatory, that means for subjective questions, and for MCQs also. This particular topic is very important. So you should mark it as 5-star topic. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of proactive and what is the meaning of reactive? This video which you are watching, what is the name of my channel? Becoming Proactive with Soumya Agarwal. So why do I use this word proactive? Proactive means to plan in advance. Proactive means to analyze and to work for the future circumstances. Today you are studying, today you are being proactive in order to face your examinations. आप इस टाइम पे proactive हो. तो proactive आप कैसे हो? आप टाइम पे अपनी प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो, टाइम पे अपना रिविजन कर रहे हो, एंड किस चीज़ के लिए, किस बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए आप प्रोएक्टिव हो, किस बात को लेके आप प्लानिंग कर रहे हो टू फेस योर फ्यूचर. ठीक है. So all the things which we do in advance, all the planning, all the analyzing, everything which we do in advance before occurring of any event is termed as proactive. Okay. But what is the meaning of reactive? Reactive means to react. After the circumstances occur, we are reacting towards the circumstances. Like suppose in today's era, COVID-19 pandemic is going on. I'm taking this example because this example, you all are aware about the pandemic, and so this can be the best example to use in strategic management. That is why again and again I'm using the example of pandemic. Okay. So in today's era, when in March 2020 lockdown occurred, COVID pandemic just arised. So then the businesses adopted that reactive strategy. Okay, because all of us were unaware of any kind of virus, and so the impact, according to the effect this pandemic had on our business, we reacted as per that. Okay, but now we are already aware. After first wave there was second wave. Okay, and after second wave also there were expectations that third wave is going to arrive. So what happened is, now we are in such a state that though we cannot be 100% sure, but still we can plan at least something, so that in case the same situation occurs again, like the second wave was more worst. Okay, so the scientists already have analyzed it before, that the second wave could be more dangerous, and this only happened. Okay, so to some extent businesses had prepared themselves. Okay, so the strategy they adopted during the second wave or after the second wave can be termed as a proactive strategy, but the reaction after the first wave was a reactive one. Okay, still if you are not clear, just wait and just study with me, you will be clear with this topic. So I will take you to a story of a frog, sorry, not a frog, a grasshopper and an ant. Okay, so you must have listened to this story, and if you haven't, I'm telling you. There was one grasshopper and there was one ant. Okay, so it was summer's time, and everything was going very well. The grasshopper used to enjoy a lot. He used to sing, he used to dance, and he used to do whatever he wanted to do. But on the other side, the ant used to enjoy for some time, but along with that, what did she use? She used to gather food and she used to store the food. Okay, she used to work hard in summer as well, and she used to just gather food and store it. Okay, then what happened? Then winters arrived, and when winters arrived, there was a lot of snowfall, and because of that, there was no food available outside the homes. Okay, now because the grasshopper was busy in singing and enjoying when there was summertime, he had no food stored. But the ant already worked hard in summer, and so they had a lot of store they have a lot of food stored in their house, and so their winters were without any tension, and they just enjoyed the food which they stored uh, from the summers. Okay, so what do you learn from this story? The aunt was proactive. She already planned because she somewhere knew that in winters it will not be possible to arrange food. Okay, so therefore she had already planned, and so here the aunt adopted a proactive strategy. But on the other hand, what did the grasshopper do? When grasshopper found that he has no food, he just went to the aunt's home and he begged some food. Now here the grasshopper is doing a reactive strategy. He is reacting to the situation. Okay, but again the response of aunt can be either she will give food or she will not give food. Okay, so therefore we can conclude that it is always better to be proactive. Now this question is also asked in you, this question can also be asked to you in your exams, that which strategy is better, which strategic approach is better, being proactive or being reactive. So see, being proactive is always better than being reactive, but sometimes there are very unexpected situations which you cannot plan for, like COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so in that case, if you will not adopt a well reactive strategy, if you will not react properly, then your business may also fail. So therefore you should have a proper blend of proactive strategy and a reactive strategy. So for a successful business, you should adopt a blend of proactive strategy and reactive strategy. Similarly, there is a lot of change in fashion, change in sales. Like suppose after 3G, 3G was for a very shorter duration, but after 2G, 3G came, and then very quickly 4G also came. So because of that, what happened? The 3G sets, the mobile sets which had only 3G, they became outdated. But the mobile phones which had the feature of both 3G and 4G, they were successful. Okay, so what was the approach with the mobile phones? That was proactive strategy. Okay, so therefore your strategy should be a blend of proactive strategy and reactive strategy. But if any unexpected changes arise in your business environment, then you should have a proper reactive strategy. But maximum times you should be ready with your analysis, and you should adopt a proactive strategy. So I hope that enough explanation is done till here. Now we will read the content which is given in your book, and I am focusing on this particular topic because this is very important. So a company's strategy is typically a blend means you can say a multiplication. Okay. Proactive actions on the part of managers to improve the company's market position and financial performance. Like you already know that strategy is made by the management. Okay. So the management should analyze and should make plans to make the position of their company better day by day. Okay. Similarly, reactions to unanticipated developments and fresh market conditions in the dynamic business environment. Okay, so all the unexpected things which can happen in your business environment, you should be ready to react with them, because if you will not react to the unexpected changes, then your business may fail. So in other words, a company uses both proactive and reactive strategies to cope up with the uncertain business environment. Proactive strategy is a planned strategy, and reactive strategy is adaptive reaction to changing circumstances. So if a question is asked to you that which strategy is better, you should write both the answers. That though it is better to have a proactive approach, but in case unanticipated developments or changes take place in the business environment, then a business should be ready to have a reactive strategy as well. Now see this diagram, I would like that you should learn this diagram, and if a question comes in your exam about proactive and reactive, then you must draw this diagram. So what is happening in this? Companies' experiences, know-how, strengths, weakness, competitive capabilities. So these are all the assets and liabilities of a company. Okay. Now a company is using a planned strategy. Along with that, a company is using a reactive strategy. That means a company is taking new initiatives plus ongoing strategy features. That means the features which were present in the past, along with that, the company is planning to do anything new to improve their business position. Along with that, they are having a reactive strategy, means what they are doing, they are reacting to the changing circumstances. And with the blend of this, what is happening? The actual company strategy is made. Okay, and what they are doing, they are taking off the abundant strategy features out of their strategy. So in this way, a company will have a successful competitive strategy. So I would like that you should learn this diagram, and also there are few keywords. First of all, it is blend, and a company is partly proactive and partly reactive. Okay, so these are few words which you should quote in your exam. Now, the biggest portion of a company's current strategy flows from previously initiated actions and business approaches that are working well enough to merit continuation, and newly launched managerial initiatives to strengthen the company's overall position and performance. So, what they are saying, that along with the ongoing features in a strategy, that means the features which are already present from the past year, that means the strategy which you used in your past year, along with those features you are taking some new initiatives. तो ये लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि जो कंपनी ने ऐसा तो है नहीं कि हर बिजनेस न्यू बिजनेस ही हो, कुछ स्ट्रैटेजी हो सकता है कि आप लोगों ने लास्ट ईयर्स में भी लगाई हो, तो उसमें जो जो फीचर्स जिसकी वजह से आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी, आपका बिजनेस सक्सेसफुल हुआ है, उन फीचर्स के साथ साथ मैनेजमेंट को कुछ नए इनिशिएटिव्स भी लेने चाहिए, जिससे कि जो उनकी कंपनी की ओवरऑल पोजीशन और परफॉर्मेंस है वो और ज़्यादा अच्छी हो जाए. Okay, so this part of manager's game plan is a deliberate and proactive, standing as the product of management's analysis. Now, what does the management do? Management does the analysis and strategic thinking about the company's situation, and what they do, they adopt a proactive strategy, they plan so that their position can be better. Okay, and its conclusion about how to position the company in the marketplace and tackle the task of competing for buyers patronage. Okay, so this was all about the proactive part. Now, but not every strategic move is the result of proactive planning. You cannot plan everything in advance, and it is not possible that whatever you plan 100% exactly same happens. Okay, so it is not possible that a strategic move is the result of proactive planning and deliberate management design. This cannot be fully anticipated. You cannot anticipate everything fully or plan everything fully. Okay, so when market and competitive conditions take an unexpected turn, now if there is any unexpected situation which arises in your business, so in that way, what will you have to do? You have to adopt a reactive strategy. So they are saying, hence a portion of the company's strategy is always developed as the response to unforeseen developments. But apart from adapting strategy to changes in environment, there is also a need to adopt a strategy as new learnings emerge about which pieces of the strategy are working well and which aren't, as management hits upon new idea for improving their strategy. Now, crafting a strategy thus involves stitching together a proactive intended strategy based on prior successful appearance. They are again repeating the same lines, the prior successful experience and then the new pieces. Okay, so they have included one more point, like suppose there is change in technology. So this is again you can say a reactive strategy only, because it will help you to strengthen your business position only. Okay, like some technology come which can ease the production process, so in that way you are adopting a reactive strategy and you are strengthening the overall position. So we can conclude that a strategy is a blend of proactive strategy and a reactive strategy. No business can work with only proactive strategy or adopting only reactive strategy. A business should be ready and should adopt both the strategies. Okay, but they should try their best to be proactive so that they do not feel any uncertainty about their business continuity. Okay, I hope that this topic was clear, but before moving further, I want to just show you one question, like how the questions are asked. Now see, this is the question number 3 of your study material only. If you are using old study material, Just download the new study material from ici.org because these questions are awesome. Okay, and similar questions can also be asked you to in your exam, so that is why you should prepare them. Okay, fine. So Yummy Foods and Tasty Foods are successfully competing in the business of ready-to-eat snacks in Patna. Yummy has been pioneered in introducing innovative products. These products will give them good sale. However, Tasty Foods will introduce similar products in reaction to the products introduced by the Yummy Foods, taking away the advantage gained by the former. Discuss the strategic approach of the two companies, and then they are asking that which is superior. So see, here what is the question saying? The question is saying that Yummy Foods is a pioneer. That means you can say king. Okay, that means he's leading in introducing innovative products. He is introducing innovative products that can give him good sale. Okay, so this business basically believes in planning in advance and taking new ideas, innovative ideas. But Tasty Foods, what is he is doing? He is introducing similar products. That means, suppose Yummy Foods has introduced one tasty snack, and because of which his sale has increased. So Tasty Food is also introducing a similar snack. So what he's doing? He's just reacting to the production which Yummy is doing. Okay, so here what you can conclude, I have just taught you that if you plan anything in advance, that is your proactive strategy. But if you react to the circumstances which are changing, or you can say if you are reacting to the unexpected turns, then you are adopting a reactive strategy. So here in this question, Yummy Foods is adopting a proactive strategy, but Tasty Foods is adopting a reactive strategy. Okay, so Yummy Foods is proactive in its approach. On the other hand, Tasty Foods is reactive. Now see, in this way only you have to write your answer. Number first, you have to write the synopsis. Then number second, you have to write about the topic. And then in the third paragraph or fourth paragraph, you have to write the conclusion. So the way you will write your answer should be like, suppose first of all they are just asking you that which approach is adopted by which company. So in the first line you just have mentioned that Yummy Food is adopting a proactive strategy and Tasty Food is adopting a reactive strategy. Okay, now first of all I would recommend you that you should write the synopsis. Now in synopsis what you will do, you will just write 2-3 lines about the case study which is given to you. So you can just write that Yummy Foods is a pioneer in introducing new innovative product which help him to gain his sale, and Tasty Food is introducing similar products in reaction to the products introduced by Yummy. Okay, after that you should start with this point, that what is proactive strategy and what is reactive strategy, and then you will move to a conclusion. I will write this answer in the way I am telling you. You should not write heading, synopsis and all. You should just write your answers in paragraphs. Okay, I'll myself write the answer and I'll drop the pic of that answer in my telegram channel, on my telegram channel, so you can just go and see it from there. Okay, today only I'll send the answer there. Okay, fine. So after that, in the topic portion, what you should write about the topic which is discussed in the case study, that what is a proactive strategy. So proactive strategy is a planned strategy, whereas reactive strategy is reaction to changing circumstances. The company's strategy is typically a blend of, I told you now, this is a keyword, blend of proactive actions on the parts of manager to improve the company's position and reactions to unanticipated developments and fresh market conditions. Then again they have written that if organizational resources permit, it is better. Now you are giving answer to the next question that is asked. It is better to adopt a proactive strategy rather than a reactive. Being proactive is aspects such as introducing new products will give you advantage in the mind of your customer. But at the same time, crafting a strategy involves stitching together a proactive intended strategy and then adapting first one piece and then another as circumstances surrounding the company's situation change or better option emerge, a reactive strategy. So they have written in a bit fashionable language, but still, if not so fashionable, you can just write that a company should be ready to face the unexpected changes or the response to their competitors and or the response to the emerging technologies, and so they should be ready to adopt a reactive strategy as well. this aspect can be accomplished by yummy foods. Okay, so I'll though it is already given in the book, but as the way I'm telling you, I'll write the answer in that particular format also, and then I'll just drop it on my Telegram channel. You can get it from there. Okay, so till here, I guess you all are clear with what is proactive strategy and what is reactive strategy. Now we are going to study about strategic management. So what is strategic management? It is a managerial process. Strategic management क्या है? एक managerial process है. Now why is it managerial process? Because the framing of a strategy, the forming of a strategy is done by the corporate level. And who are there at the corporate level? Key group. And what is the name of those key group? Managers. Okay. So this is how everything is linked to each other. That is why I am teaching you all the topics in a sequence. So it is a process. It is a managerial process. That means you cannot just frame a strategy in one day. You have to go through a process. Okay. So it is a managerial process of developing a strategic vision. Now vision का exact meaning I'll tell you in your chapter number 3. But I'm just telling you a gist of vision. Vision is something which you want to become in future. Okay. So developing a strategic vision that I want to become a chartered accountant. So that is my vision. Okay. Then setting objectives. Now objectives are open-ended processes. That means if I want to become a chartered accountant, then today I have to complete chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. So this can be my objective. Okay. Then crafting a strategy, that how I am going to adopt. That already I have told you that how you are going to adopt. So the how, the process is basically framed in your strategy. Then implementing that framed strategy and evaluating. And then finally initiating corrective actions where deemed appropriate. So what you are doing, you are evaluating the strategy and then you are initiating corrective adjustment. Like if you are feeling that your strategy is not going as per you have planned. Okay, so and it needs some correction. So what you are doing, you are initiating corrective adjustments where deemed appropriate. So this process does not end, it keeps on going on in a cyclic manner. Now this can be asked in your MCQ that setting a strategy or strategic management, is it a continuous process? And in which manner does it go? So it is goes in a cyclic manner, because what happens, you already have studied that business is a dynamic. Okay, you already have studied that strategy is not a substitute for a sound management. So that is only what is mentioned here, that this process does not end and it keeps on going in a cyclic manner. Okay, now till here you can read by yourself. From here I am teaching the overall objectives of strategic management. Now this can be asked as a question to you, that explain strategic management and what are the objectives of strategic management. So what is the objectives of strategic management? Why should we do strategic management? Why should we frame a strategy and why should we do strategic management? So we should do strategic management to create a competitive advantage. What is the meaning of competitive advantage? Something which is unique and valued by customer. Like suppose the Oppo and Vivo mobiles have a selfie camera. So what is that? That is competitive advantage which they are gaining over other mobiles. Why? Because that selfie camera, or which you can say the good camera quality, that is valued by its customer. Okay, so this is the competitive advantage. That means they have one uniqueness that makes them differ from the other mobile phones. Okay, so they are using a strategic management in such a way that it has helped them to create a competitive advantage. Okay, so that the company can outperform the competitor. That means move ahead in the competition in order to have dominance over market. Okay, then to guide the company successfully through all changes in the environment, this is to react in the right manner. Now teachers always tell you that you should have your plan, a written plan. Why so? Because see, though you are a CA student, but still you are a human being only. Things can happen which you have not planned. Like suppose there can be some health issues or there can be some emergency situations. So in that way, what can happen, you have suppose planned that till this date I will complete this much, but some situations arrived because of which you could not complete your targets. Okay, so in that way, what you should do? Should you quit CA? No, you should react, you should change your strategy. So this is only they are saying that they should the strategic management helps the company to guide and also react to the changes in the environment wherever there is any change in environment. So whether to adopt a proactive or a reactive strategy, everything is a part of a strategic management process only. Okay, so it helps to guide the company. Okay, this was pretty much easy, I guess. It does not need much explanation. So what are the objectives? Create competitive advantage and guide the company successfully through the changes in environment. That means to react in the right manner. Now rest of the paragraphs you can read by yourself. Okay, now we are going to study the importance of a strategic management. Also, this can be in your MCQ. What was the original name of strategic management? It was business policy. Though I have already told you that you should reach each and every line and mark it as MCQ, so in this way you can mark. Okay. Originally called business policy, strategic management emphasizes the monitoring and evaluation of external opportunities and threats in the light of companies' strength and weakness. That needs to do SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? We will discuss it in detail, but here they are just saying that strategic management basically emphasizes on SWOT analysis. Okay, for the growth and survival of the business. Now, what is the importance of strategic management? So we will discuss from here only. Till here you can read by yourself. And yeah, this can be asked as a question. Like, it is possible that they may not ask you directly. They may just quote this line: survival of fittest as propagated by Charles Darwin is the only principal survival for all organizations. And this can be asked you to explain this line. So what will you write here? See, you will write here that this particular line, and then what is the meaning of fittest? Does it mean to be like Akshay Kumar? No. It is also not largest or strongest. Fittest does not mean that a strategy, if we are saying that survival of the fittest, so fittest does not mean to be largest or strongest. Fittest means that one who can adapt the changes and react to the changes successfully. Okay, like I already told you that the business environment is dynamic and daily. There can be some situations which you have not expected. So the way you are reacting to them will actually decide that whether your survival is fittest or not. Okay, so survival of fittest is the only principal survival for all the organizations. That means you should change and adopt successfully to all the changes in the business environment. So this is very important and you should read it and mark it. So many business giants have followed the path of extension following to manage drastic changes in the business environment. Bajaj scooters, LML scooters, Nokia, Kodak, ये सब क्या हो गए? And these all have become obsolete. Sorry. Thus, it becomes imperative to study business strategy. So why did this happen? They were not able to merge with the changes in the environment, and so their products become outdated, and so they have to close their product, they have to liquidate. Okay, so ये सारे के सारे products बंद हो गए. So why has this happened? Because they could not have a fittest survival. Okay, now what is the meaning? What are the benefits of strategic management? Do not leave these two paragraphs, you have to read it. So benefit of strategic management is it gives a direction to the company to move ahead. It helps to define the goals and mission. It helps management to define realistic objectives which are in line with the vision of the company. Like I told you that I want to become a CA. So this is my future. Okay. So accordingly, accordingly seeing my vision only, what I will do, I will plan my objectives, I will plan my strategy. So this strategic management gives a direction. Like in exams also, in your preparation also, if you make a strategy, it helps you to give a direction, right? So in that direction, if you will move, then you will be able to achieve your vision. So this is only they are saying that strategic management gives a direction to the company in line with the vision of the company. Okay, then strategic management helps organization to be proactive instead of reactive. Now we have already discussed that proactive means to plan. Now how will you plan? So you can plan only if you have strategic management. If you don't have a strategic management, then of course you cannot become proactive. Okay, so by analysis, you and by analysis, and you can have a control on your destiny in a better manner. So this is only they are saying. Also, it provides a framework. Now, framework means a boundary to all the major decisions, such as which product, which market to serve, which product to introduce, where to invest, what should be the organizational structure. So, with the help of a strategic management, a framework for all major decisions can be available with the management. Okay. Then, strategic management seeks to prepare the organization to face the future and also act as a pathfinder to various business opportunities. Okay, then it serves as a corporate defense mechanism against mistakes and pitfalls. It helps the organization to avoid costly mistakes in product, market choices, or investment. Now, what is this? This is a bit technical. No, it is not at all technical. Corporate defense mechanism, it just means that to save the organization from high cost. So, why is strategic management useful here? Because there can be some mistakes which can prove to be very, very costly. But if you have a proper strategic management, that can serve as a defense mechanism. That means it can save you to bear high cost. Okay, because with the strategic management, you will analyze the cost and everything in advance. Okay, so like investment decisions and the major decisions which can cost your business a lot of cost. Okay, or which can cost your business to a very, very high cost. So the strategic management can save you from that. Okay, so it serves as a corporate defense mechanism. This is important. I don't know why I feel this important, but this is very important. Please star mark it. I don't know, but they can ask you to explain this also. Okay. Then strategic management helps to enhance the longevity of the business. Longevity means life of the business. So with the state of competition and dynamic environment, it may be challenging for organizations to survive in the long run. Okay, because the environment is changing on a daily basis, and if you do not have a strategic management, so it might become challenging. Okay, then strategic management helps the organization to develop certain core competency and competitive advantage. Competitive advantage, you already have studied that it means something unique. Okay, then core competency is also similar to that only. Core competency is the competency that is means the major portion of your business. Okay, what exactly it is, we will discuss it in detail. Okay, in chapter number 2, so I don't want to discuss it here, but it helps the organization to develop certain core competency and competitive advantage. Okay, if you are not understanding the meaning of these two terms here also, then I'll discuss it in detail. Okay, but I don't want to waste your time here. Then there are various limitations also, so this is also important. So this is because the business environment is highly complex and turbulent. Okay, so it is not possible that you can understand the complex business and pinpoint exactly that how the business is going to react, because business इतना ज़्यादा complex है तो आप react करते हो, but ज़रूरी नहीं कि आपके reactions हर time ही successful हो जाए. Okay, so it's not possible that every reaction will lead to the success of the business only, because there is a lot of complexity, there is a lot of uncertainty, so sometimes your strategy might also fail. Okay, so they are just saying that because there is high complexity and uncertainty in the business environment, so it is possible that some businesses might not be able to adopt a successful strategy and their business might shut down. So in spite of adopting a strategic management also, if you are not reacting in a proper way, you may fail. Okay, then it is a very, very time consuming process. Now, as I already told you, that you cannot make a strategy in one day. It is a time consuming process. You need to spend a lot of time, and also you need to adopt a lot of decision making power and proper skills you should have. Okay, so you have to involve a lot of experts in everything also. That is why it is costly also. Okay, also they are saying that organizations spend a lot of time in preparing, communicating the strategies, and that may impede the daily operations and negatively impact the routine business. Okay, so that means the time in which you can do your business operations, that time is also used in strategic management only, framing strategy only. So this is a very, very time consuming process. Also, it is a very costly process, because it is possible that if you don't have proper skills with you, management skills, then you may need to hire experts. Or if the complexity of the environment is so much that you're not able to understand, then also you might involve any expert or any resource like that, right? So in that way, a strategic management can be a costly process as well. Then they are saying that in a competitive scenario where all the organizations are trying to move strategically, it is difficult to clearly estimate the competitive response to a firm's strategy. Now you are competing with so many businesses, so it is not possible that you can predict every competitor's move. Okay, you never know that which competitor adopts which competitive strategy and what will be the impact of that strategy on your business. Like in the example, in the question which we discussed, yummy food and tasty food, if tasty food had not reacted a strategy, then he might also fail. Okay, because yummy food was pioneer in innovative product. So this is only they are saying that it is quite difficult to estimate that what all strategies are the competitors making and what will be the impact of their strategy on our business. So for example, it is quite difficult to gauge the strategic planning of competitors because most of these decisions are taken within the closed doors by the top management. Of course, you will not leak what all plans you have, right? Now this topic is strategic level. We will discuss it in the next class. But in this class, I would like to start with this topic, strategic management in non-profit organizations, and then we will end with the class. Now, if any question comes to you that strategic management in government, strategic management in NPOs, so first lines which you should write is these lines. Organizations can be classified as commercial and non-commercial. Wait, I'll just show you the answer only. Then only you will trust. Like suppose here Health Well Now is a charitable organization. So they have asked you that is strategic management relevant for Health and Well Now. Okay, Health Well Now. So here what they have done, they have started their answer with this. Organizations can be classified as commercial and non-commercial on the basis of interest they have. Suppose if the organization have a profit earning motive, they are classified as commercial, and if they have a non-profit earning motive, they are classified as non-commercial. Okay, so in this way you have to start with your answer. Then you should write that a commercial organization has a profit motive and non-commercial have non-profit motive. Okay, but still strategic management is needed in non-profit organizations as well. So how is strategic management used in non-profit organizations? So many non-profit organizations and government organizations outperform private firms and corporations on innovation, motivation, productivity and human relations. So compared to profit firms, non-profit and government organizations often function as monopoly, produce a product or service that offer little or no measurability of performance and are totally dependent on outside financing. Now they are saying because non-commercial organizations or non-government organizations do not have a profit earning motive. So that is why they cannot produce money from their business and they are generally dependent on the outside money, like either from government or from public funds. Okay. So thus they face a challenge in getting the right amount of funds to keep functioning because the profits are not the motive. So especially for these organizations, strategic management provides an excellent vehicle. Now you should start. Now suppose if the question is asked that how strategic management is used in educational institute. So first of all, you should write all this which I told you, that organizations are classified commercial, non-commercial. Then in non-commercial organization, because there is not profit earning motive, so that is why the organizations are generally dependent on outside financing. Then you should start with your answer. I hope you are getting me. So now let's study that how strategic management is used in educational institutes. So educational institutes are using strategic management techniques and concepts more frequently. Richard Syret, Richard Syret, president of Carnegie Mellon University, says, "I believe we do a far better job of strategic management than any company I know." So he is saying that in educational institute, strategic management does a far better job. So the significant change in the competitive climate has taken place in the educational environment. Hence, they are adopting different strategies for attracting best students. Now you can see that the schools which were used to be in 1990s and the schools which are today in today's era, both the schools are very changed. The technology which is used in the school is also changed, the teaching method is also changed, and a lot of things have changed, like curricular activities are given more importance. Okay, that means they are giving equal importance as education. So a lot of things have changed if you compare the education system from the past and the education system of now. Okay, so if you will fail to adopt the changes which are taken in the educational environment, then will your school be able to run properly? No. So that is why they are saying that because the environment is changing, educational environment is also changing, so therefore you have to adopt a strategic management in educational institutes as well. So the academic institutions have also joined hands with industries in order to deliver education to make graduates more employable. Now you have already heard that in colleges direct placements are done. So how is the direct placement done? This is because the educational institute join hands with the industries, right? So the educational delivery system has undergone a considerable change with the introduction of computers and internet technologies. Like suppose in today's era you can see it is not possible to go to school, and because there is internet and technology, online classes are going on. I am also able to teach you on YouTube because of technology only. Okay, but before if you look 4 5 years back, there was YouTube was not so much in trend. Okay, also internet was used but to a very limited extent. But if you compare the 4 5 years back with today, you will find that internet has a very vital role in education. Also smart classes, okay, audio video learning in schools, these are given a very high importance in schools. So they are saying that only that educational environment has undergone a lot of changes after computer and technology has been introduced. First of all, Internet Law School, Concord University School of Law, sorry, boasts nearly 200 students who can access lectures anytime and chat at fixed times with professors. Now they are saying that there was a university which introduced that at a time 2000 students can learn and access the lectures and chat. Okay, so online college degrees are becoming common and represent a threat to traditional colleges and universities. Thus, finding the right strategy to sustain the changes is what these educational institutes are working on. So, they are saying that because technology has such a vital role on educational institute. Okay, now if you will fail to adopt technology in a proper way, then you may fail to survive in the business, because educational institutes also have a group in which under which they compete. Okay, so if one educational institute adopt a better technology in a better way, then of course it will succeed. Okay, but the educational institute which will fail, of course it will fail if it will fail to coordinate with the changes. Okay, so they are saying that strategic management, and this is how the strategic management is used in educational institutes. So what all points did we learn in educational institute? We learned to manage resources, to join hands with industries, and then introduction of computers and technology. So these all points you can quote in your answers. Do not write anything just vague or just imaginable. Okay, just by imagination you should not write answers in strategic management and EIS, because these are technical subjects and it is expected that you should write your answers professionally. So that is why just do not write anything. You have to include all these points only which I am telling you. Okay, so all these lines you can quote, like of course you cannot quote the exact language, but you should at least quote these points. Okay, join hands with industry, technology, and the significant changes in the educational environment. Okay, so we will discuss the importance of strategic management in medical organizations and government agencies in the next class, and also we will discuss the levels of management in the next class. Okay, So I'm ending this video here, and if you're feeling that my videos are benefiting you, then please do comment and let me know through the comment section. Also do consider subscribing to my channel and share my videos. Thank you so much to everyone.